Hello and welcome to another edition of Siena Saints Weekly. I'm your host, Andrew Champagne. In just a moment, we'll be joined by Carly Holloway from Siena Women's Tennis. But first, let's take a look at the week that was in Siena athletics. Men's lacrosse has now won 5 in a row. The Saints are in their second MAC win of the year Saturday with a 12-9 triumph over Jacksonville. Brian Neufeld and Danny Martinson had milestone days in the win, with Neufeld notching his 200th career point and Martinson getting his 100th. Here are head coach John Sveck and Neufeld after the win.
We talk about finishing, and our guys certainly did that. I think we give credit to Jacksonville. They've got an outstanding goalie and good defense and good offensive sets, and they made things difficult and challenged the guys at halftime to stick together and keep working hard and keep working and just keep pushing it, and they did. We had some guys step up today, like a Pat Daly, who really sparked us, and down at the end there, Nick Capalbo stepped in and did a nice job too.
Yeah. Brian, Josh just asked you about it. The 200-point mark, only the third guy in program history to get there. I know you're a team-first guy, but when you take a second to think about it, what does 200 career points mean?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's thanks to my coaches and my teammates for getting me the ball in the right spot. It's not just me. It's a team stat, I think.
With the win, Siena began receiving votes in the Nike Top 20 poll. Next up for the Saints is an important road trip on Saturday to MAC rival Detroit. Game time is set for 1 p.m. in Michigan. Baseball opened their home schedule Sunday, splitting a doubleheader against visiting Binghamton. Justin Brantley picked up his first win of the season in the opener, but the Bearcats scored 3 runs in the nightcap's 7th inning to salvage the split. The series concludes Monday, and the Saints will also be home this Friday and Saturday, hosting Iona in an important MAC series. Women's lacrosse dropped their MAC opener Saturday, falling 10-8 at Marist. Siena led 8-7, but 3 late goals by the Red Foxes dropped the green and gold to 0-1 in league play. They'll host reigning MAC champion Canisius on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Siena Turf Field. Softball's losing streak is now 9 in a row. The Saints dropped doubleheaders at UAlbany and Seton Hall last week and will look to right the ship in their home opener Tuesday. They'll host Sacred Heart in a 3 p.m. doubleheader. Women's golf finished 9th at last week's Richmond Spider Invitational. They'll return to the course on Sunday at the Brown Bear Invitational. Meanwhile, the men are currently teeing it up at the Villanova Invitational and will be in action both Monday and Tuesday. Water polo dropped 3 MAC matches this past weekend, losing to St. Francis, Marist, and Wagner. Next up for the Saints is Senior Day on Saturday, when they'll host VMI and Iona at the Siena Swim Center. Men's tennis dropped a 6-1 decision to MacPhone Niagara on Friday. They'll return to action on April 14th at Loyola. And women's tennis also began league play this past week. Joining me now is sophomore Carly Holloway. Carly, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The Saints dropped a 5-2 decision to Niagara on Friday. How important is it to shake off that loss going forward?
I think it's very important because it did kind of shake our confidence a little bit. But, we've got a new match tomorrow. We're playing Manhattan. So we're just going to try and focus on each match at a time. And hopefully we're going to play our best. And hopefully we'll win.
The team made the MAC tournament last year with a number of big wins down the stretch. What did the Saints need to do to make it another trip to the MAC tournament this year?
I think we're going to try and focus on winning the doubles point right off the bat, and then from there it's just 3 more singles matches. So hopefully it works in our favor.
The team is very senior heavy. In fact, 5 of the team's 10 student athletes are in their last season here in Loudonville. Does that give the rest of the team any more motivation to get back to the MAC tournament and potentially win a MAC title?
I think it does, just because this year we're much more closer as a whole, and I think it's almost like a last parting gift if we can all make it together, spend like another weekend in New Jersey where they're holding the MAC tournament. We'll have some fun, play some good tennis hopefully.
What are your goals for the rest of the season?
MAC championship. Obviously, we'd like to make it to there.
Going off the court for a minute, you've spent a lot of time in your native Ohio volunteering at local camps and stuff like that. Tell us about that.
Yes, for the past 2 summers, I've worked in inner city Cleveland teaching tennis, and it's part of a program that also teaches tennis. We work on literacy, wellness, fitness. It's a 5-component program. It's headed by like the USTA Cleveland Clinic. So a lot of big names in tennis and our local Cleveland area working together for the at-risk youth.
What's the most rewarding part of that job?
I think just seeing the kids smile, like they're all having fun. They're not necessarily the greatest at tennis, but they're doing something that they've never really done before in the summer. So it's just, being around kids, having, they're just having a blast.
Lightning round time. Here we go. Your favorite movie?
Happy Gilmore.
Favorite TV show?
Mad Men.
Funniest member of the team?
I think I'd have to give our seniors the props. The four of them are pretty funny. Maybe Danielle, I think, stands out a little bit. But
What's been the funniest thing done to try to loosen the team up this year?
probably working on the talent show. We've had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, as I recall, you did the air swimming bit that actually ended the show. Went over pretty well, as I recall, too. So good job on that. Your biggest pet peeve?
I don't like when I don't have like chapstick on. I don't know if that's a big pet peeve or.
It's big enough. We'll accept that. We might have to go to the judges for that, but we'll accept it. Last question. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
All right, I'll say my teammates Jessica Macaluso, Nicole Ross, and Jasmine Sandu.
And
That's normally who I eat with anyhow.
I'm sure they're very excited to have gotten that plug on Siena Saints Weekly here this week, that's for sure. Well, Carly, thanks very much for your time, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Again, Carly and the Saints are currently in the midst of MAC play. They'll next be in action on Tuesday at Manhattan. And finally, we mentioned it earlier, the second annual Student Athlete Talent Show was held Friday night in the Arc. We'll close today's show with a look at the event. Enjoy. The second annual Student Athlete Talent Show was held Friday night at the Arc on the Siena College campus. Members of Siena's 18 Division I programs took to the stage for an evening of fun, laughter, and fundraising for a very worthy cause.
We're here not only tonight to watch Siena's finest athletes perform off the field, but we are here to raise money for the Special Olympics New York.
The evening was highlighted by out-of-the-box skits and banter between the student athletes and the panel of judges. Some of the exchanges went from funny to, well...
That was terrific. I hate to do it, but it was utterly awesome.
Yes. I don't want to milk the puns, but considering there's about 3 IT band injuries, probably a couple of hip issues, and who knows what else with you guys, I was very inspired. I'm not really sure what Hammers are going to make of this.
It was riveting in a decidedly train wreck kind of way.
Women's soccer took first place at the event, while reigning champion volleyball finished second and softball checked in third. Whether women's soccer can repeat or not is up for debate, but the success of the event means they'll probably get a chance to next year.
We did a great job for Special Olympics tonight. We'll see you next year.